Hello. When you sow small vegetable seeds, quite often you're not too sure how many seeds you've sown because they're so small and they're difficult to see. But you sow them, and the seeds germinate, and then you get seedlings, small vegetable plants. Could be onions, could be leeks, could be any number of vegetables that you're going to transplant. So then you transplant them, you move them up. And when you move them up, when you transplant them, you'll probably find that you've sown too many seeds and you've got more seedlings than you actually require. I've found myself in that position a number of times. And I did a number of years ago when I sowed too many leeks. And once I'd transplanted the leeks that I required into a raised bed, I had some leeks left over. So there was a choice to be made. I certainly didn't want to put them on a compost heap or bin them. I did want to grow them, and if I couldn't give them away, and at the time I couldn't, other gardeners had enough leeks of their own, they didn't need any of mine. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to give these guys a go. I'm going to plant these leeks in a bucket. And at the time I thought, far too many leeks for this small bucket. Far too many leeks in this small bucket, it'll never hold water. I'm going to cut you to that video now that I shot all those years ago. Check this out. And what I would suggest you do is, after you've watched this video, bear in mind that when you sow some seeds this year, if you get good germination and you get more plants than you need, put the spares in a bucket, grow them on, give them a chance. You'll be as surprised, perhaps, as I was surprised with the return from this bucket. Check this out. Enjoy the video. These are some leeks I've grown on from seed. I've already planted some of these leeks in my raised bed. In fact, the raised bed's quite full now, the 3 raised beds I have, and so I have no space for these leeks. So I'm just looking to do something perhaps a little different with these because I don't want to waste them. A 10-inch pot filled with compost about 2 inches below the rim, and I've marked it out with white pebbles. I'm looking to get 10 of those leeks into this pot. What I'm looking to do is dibber some holes, 10 holes, pop in 10 leeks, wee bit of compost, water them in, and that's 10 leeks in a 10-inch pot. Why 10? 10-inch pot, 10 leeks, why not? Okay. And I'll dibber these holes about 3 inches deep. And the compost has been firmed, so I'm hoping these holes actually hold up and they don't collapse in on one another. And if these grow on successfully, what I'm actually looking to do, this 2-inch of pot that there's no compost in it at the top, if the leeks get above that, then what I'll look to do is fill that with compost just to blanch the stem of the leek. But at the minute it'll act as a bit of a wind protection, if you like, for the leeks. The wind won't get at them so much with that lip. Right, just pop these in loosely for the time being. Make sure we've got 10. That's it, 10 leeks. So we'll try and get all the roots in as best we can. Take that leaf off. Put them in like that. Put them in like that. There's more roots out than in on this one. Just push them in with our finger. Okay. And I'll give them a drink. No, we won't. We'll just some composting on top of those roots. I know lots of people actually just leave the hole as it is, but I prefer a wee bit of compost on top of the roots, to be honest. That's it. Give it a bit of a shake. Now, I'll give each one a drink. Can you hear the blackbird singing? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Let's just straighten them up a bit, make them look as though they're equally spaced. Should be. Voila, 10 leeks, 10-inch pot. When they get a bit taller, we'll fill this with compost, just shake it in, try and blanch them up a bit. Job's done. Let's see how they go. These 10 leeks have been in this 10-inch pot now for just short of 2 months. Originally grown from seedlings indoors, brought outside and planted in this pot when they were very small. What you see here now is just short of 2 months worth of growth. As you can see, they're getting quite tall now, and they're starting to look a bit crowded, but then you would expect that with 10 leeks in one pot. That should make them search for the light, get a bit leggy, and probably have a longer shank on them. What I'm going to do today is what I said I would do in the first video. I'd left about 2 inches worth of depth in here. I don't know if you can see my finger. I'll try them both. Just about a finger's depth. There's about that much depth left in the pot to give them some protection from the wind. And as they've got taller, as you can see, I've had to put small sticks in and tie them up a bit because they were flapping about. But now I'm going to do what I said I would do on the first video, and that is to earth them up. And I've got some spent compost here. This is compost that I'd been using on early potatoes, which I've now lifted. And basically what I'm going to do is put that into the pot and then shake the pot to make it go to fill the pot up, so that hopefully we don't actually get this in the flags of the leeks. For the uninitiated, the flags are the leaves, and then when this settles down we should be able to take those out and the leeks will support themselves. And as there's no root disturbance, although I'm actually adding more compost, there will be no need to water this in because, as I've just said, there's no root disturbance. YouTube will be telling me that the video is shaky and could they sort it out for me, but I'll tell them no thank you, it's meant to be shaky. We're shaking a pot. That's it, a couple more and then we'll call that a day. Okay, I've got all of these cardboard inserts off except this last one. You can bear with me on this. They're just cardboard inserts, right? You can see the leeks now. Okay, let's drop this pot. And if you've been following these leeks at all on my channel, you'll know that when I started, I brought these out from indoors, and they were not as thick as a blade of grass when they went in here. and had I not put them in here I would have been throwing them out. So this looks as though it's a result, whatever we get. Okay, let's see if we can loosen them up a bit. Let's see if they'll lift out. They don't want to come. It's got to take a bit of... Ah, here we go. Now, as you can see from that, completely root bound. But I had no option. You know, there's nowhere else I could grow these things. The raised bed was full, and they would have finished up being thrown out. So this is a crop for nothing really, and grown on the patio. Now this might take a bit of breaking out, all these roots. It may get easier as we get further down, it might not. Oh. Now, I'm going to need to go indoors and get something to make life a bit easier here. So I'll just switch the video off, give me a minute. Sorry about that. Thanks for waiting. I didn't realise that these would be such a... Ah, this spade's going through now. It's not 10 leeks in here, so I've got to be careful that I don't actually split a leek. Oh, that's looking better. So what we'll do, we'll take these 5 and just sit them to one side, and we'll try and get these 5 out, shall we? That one looks as though it wants to come. First leek. How's that? That's our first one. Okay. See if we put it through again without cutting into one. Second leek. I'll wash this soil off in the water that I used for the carrots. Oh, this looks a good one. I'd like to get this one without damaging it. Let's see if we can. Oh, hey, look at that. It's lit up like a collar. Nice leek. We'll just pop that through there, like that. Okay, 5 leeks. Hang on. Five more leeks. This is a bit more of a challenge than I thought it would be, but as I said, this is the first time I've grown leeks in pots, so I didn't know what to expect, but I do now. Be careful. Wow. Last 2. Okay. Right. Alright, let's see what we've got here. As I say, I started them from seeds indoors, brought them out and put them into this 10-inch pot and called them patio leek. I mean, look at that. Now they're not the biggest leeks in the world, but they were never meant to be. They were just meant to be eating leek, you know, something that you could prepare as a veg and eat. And I'm certain you can do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to wash this compost off, and then I'll tidy these up a bit more, and then we'll take a shot of them when they're properly tidied up, shall we? Because you normally have to take a couple of flags off, or in leek growing parlance, leaves. You normally have to take a couple of leaves off there to tidy these things up. I'm sure they'll look lovely tidied up. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 leeks grown in a 10-inch pot on a patio. Just give me a minute, I'll clean these up, bring the carrots back into the shot, and we'll see what we've got. Okay, there's the 10 leeks. Not the biggest in the world, as I've already said, but 10 fine leeks, 10 good eating leeks. It wouldn't have stood a chance if I hadn't used a pot on my patio. I started these guys off as seed, brought them out, planted them up, stood them out on the patio, let them get on with it, basically. Same with the carrots. There's the carrots. Okay, I don't know if you can see those. Let's split them up a bit, see if that makes a nice picture for you. How's that? There's the carrots, all grown on a patio in pots. So if you've got some space, flat area, paved area, patioed area, it's a pot, it's seeds, not much more than that. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Right, Mal, let's see if we've got one for you. Come on, I know what you're after. Oh, there's a couple of small ones. Here we go. Here, take that one if you want it. You want it? Good girl. And there's another small one for you as well. That's it. All we've got to do is get these indoors before Molly gets at them again, and a tidy up. Again, thanks for watching.